In this video, I'll be showing you how you can use a React hook called useMemo to optimize your React components. Hi, my name is Akash Devgan and welcome to my channel where I teach the latest and greatest in web development. If you are new here, please make sure to subscribe. This is the third video in the series on how to optimize React components. If you have not seen the first two videos, I highly suggest to watch those two videos first and then come back. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Use memo hook in React can be used to memorize values. For example, let's say you are making an API called which is responsible for performing a very expensive operation, like getting all the colors from an image. What use memo hook will do is it will cache the response of the initial API call and and unless the dependency is passed to use memo hook change, it will keep on returning the response of the initial API call instead of making a new API request. Now that's a bit too much. So let's see how use memo hook works. Let's start with a simple example. I declared a const called names and assigned an array of names to it. Now I will pass this names array to child component. And what our child component will simply do is it will loop through all the values in that array and print it on the screen. And one more thing that I wanted to pay attention to is our child component is wrapped inside react.memo function. Now, if you're not sure what react.memo does, I have made a video on this in the same series, so please go ahead and watch that first. Now what you'll see is whenever I'll click on this button, the state in the parent component, this state will change, which will result in re-rendering of a child component. As you can see, child component is getting re-rendered on every state change in the parent component, even though our child component has nothing to do with this state. It's not using this state in any shape or form. So even though our child component is wrapped inside react.memo hook, it is still getting re-rendered on every state change in the parent component. Reason for that is react.memo is doing a reference equality check on the names array to see if they point to the same reference on every re-render. But what React does is on every re-renders, React will redeclare the names const and assign it a new array. So on every re-render, this const will point to a different reference of this array and which will result in failing of equality check in react.memo, which will result in our child component getting re-rendered. Now in order to prevent that, we have to make sure we pass the same reference this array on every re-render. Now this is where useMemo comes into play. What we have to do is we have to return this value from useMemo. So let's do this. Pass it a function and return. Now useMemo also takes a second argument, which is an array of dependencies. So I'll leave it empty for now. Now what you'll see is now whenever the state changes, our child component will not get re-rendered. There you go. So now we have optimized our child component. Like on every parent re-render, our child component will only re-render when the dependencies mentioned in the second argument of useMemo will change. Now, let me show you an example of that. So let's say I pass color as a dependency to useMemo. Now every time the color will change, our child component will get re-rendered. Now if I remove the color dependencies and hit save, as you can see, our child component is not getting re-rendered now. Now this is how you can use memo to optimize your React component. I hope you guys like the videos. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one.